You know what I haven't done in a long time? I haven't done a build video in a long time. So before I continue taking parts off of this 390 because the review script is done and I'm going to sell it and move on to the next bike for long-term testing, I thought it might be fun and useful to some of you with 390s to go through the mods that I've added for this particular build and how I kind of like each one of them. So I used to do this all the time, I just haven't done it in a while. So I'll put a bunch of links in the description for you if you're curious. And some of this stuff was sent to me by sponsors, so grain of salt if that sort of thing bothers you. Before I forget, the biggest thing is this tablet that I just took off. I'll put some footage of it in here for you. Mounts up to the really cool Vanash GPS mount. This is the best mount that's out there. If he makes one for your bike, you should buy one because they're awesome. But I had that on the bike the whole time I had it, and it was super useful. That's the Adventure Tech Pro tablet. You can buy the kit with the mount. I have a whole video on installing it if you want to see what that looks like, wiring it in and whatnot. But that was a super useful, one of my favorite accessories on this bike, and it's so good that I've taken it off because it's gonna make its way to the next bike. As always, double take adventure mirrors, my favorite. Can't go wrong with the double takes. They bend and flex when you want them to, and they don't break, which is great. Of course, I had a quad lock setup on here. This is the wireless weatherproof charging head. Got a vibration dampener, and that's a single pivot underneath, so it can move around and be positioned where I want it, and just a bar clamp, another double take mirror. This is actually part of the build because I had the cruise control installed. I would highly recommend if you get a 390 Adventure or any 390 really is to get the upgraded switchgear and do the cruise control because it makes a big difference, particularly on a bike this vibey. It's nice to be able to hit the cruise control on the freeway and just take your hand off the bars for a little bit. Oh, and speaking of bars, this is the Moscow Nat bar bag. I've been using this a ton instead of a tank bag lately, and it's just enough room for me to put, usually got like chapstick and some USB cables, and I've got a little phone mount. This is like a selfie stick in there, but I usually put my camera batteries and whatnot in there. Really like this. I've been taking it on multiple trips. When I travel, I take it and put it on the bike I'm riding elsewhere. Tusk D-Flex Pro handguards. These have seen a little bit of action, as you can see. Had some bad luck with this bike, or maybe I'm just an idiot on this bike, but it's definitely been down and dragged a few times, so they have held up quite well, as you can see. And what's cool is this piece is replaceable, so if I ever decided this was too scuffed, I can just take that off and put a new plastic piece on. On the front, we've got two pretty obvious mods. First is the Tuff light turn signals from Cyclops and the Aries lights from Cyclops. I have a video of them installing both of those things on this bike. The Tuff lights are great, indestructible. Like, I've not been able to break these. They also act as running lights. They're super bright. They're great. Not that difficult to install, it turns out. So I really like those. Those are on the front and back. And these Aries lights are great because they're yellow lights, so if you want them to cut through the dust, but this is just a rubber cover, so you can take it off. If you don't drop it, it's better. And you've got clear lights too, so it's like a 2-in-1, which is super neat. Or if maybe, I don't know, it gets covered in bugs and you want it to actually work, that's an option. So really like those Aries lights. And the other thing that's cool about them is there's no separate switch. They just come on and go off with the headlight switch on the bike. And there's running lights, so it increases your visibility, makes it more safe, makes it less likely some crazy inattentive cager is gonna miss you, think you're a car really far away, and hit you. Down here, Tusk Quiet Glide skid plate. I really like these because they have that TPU, or it's a HDPE, or it's one of those acronyms for a fancy kind of plastic. But what's cool about that is it just slides over obstacles instead of sticking. It'll absorb the impact and the scraping, and your skid plate doesn't take it and transfer it to the bike. So I like the Tusk Quiet Glides. I haven't really seen anyone else doing that with their skid plates, so that's a pretty cool addition. Oh, tires is the Tusk Waypoints. And I may do a full review on these, but the short version is these are their streetier tires compared to the 2-tracks, which is what I have on the Ibex. And they're way better on the road. They're very good on the road. I don't really notice that they're knobbies. And you only really give up, I would say, about 10% of capability. Every once in a while you notice that, like in the sand, it's not quite as good as a bigger knobby. But I like them. I think they're great. And this is one of the tires I'll be running on streetier bikes that I plan on spending more time on the street with going forward. I like them a lot. The Motion Factory Racing foot pegs, and they're called that because they do this. They move, yes. Skateboard bushings in there, so it doesn't move a lot. It will absorb some vibration, and it's annoying to me, like when you go uphill and you have to get forward on the pegs and you're just standing on the edge. This way the peg rotates, so you get a little bit more flexibility there, quite literally, which I like. This is the Outback Motortech soft luggage rack, and big thanks to Lori for sending me that. I just noticed that when I've run two different sets of luggage on here, so I had the Alpine 60, and then I also ran the Tusk Excursion, which is these right here, which is what I was kind of running for day trips with my tools and stuff. and it would just swing in a little. And so this rack is just designed to keep it from doing that. And it's got this bonus attachment point here at the bottom for mounting, which makes it much easier. That's also the Outback MotorTech rear rack. I love this one because it does not interfere with the silhouette of the bike. It's not like hanging way over where I'm afraid I'm going to catch my leg on it when I'm getting on and off, which is good. This is the knoblin mount for the Moscow luggage. So you can just pop it on there if you have the knoblin mount on your luggage as well. So the rear mounting point is just this quick. No straps or anything. You can take the straps entirely off the luggage. Tuff light turn signals again. And the Skane P3, and I have a couple videos on how these work, but that thing makes you way more visible from behind. This one's actually broken from my little tumbling down the hill mishap, but I have the replacement part sitting over there. I just haven't put it on. But those things will flash. They have a conspicuity flicker that's supposed to draw the driver's attention, and I will tell you it really does. And I will tell you it really draws the driver's attention. I can see them sitting farther back on a bike where I have these versus one where I don't. So that thing is great for your safety and keeping you from getting rear-ended, which is, you know, preferable. The best mod on here, I don't know if I can even show it to you. The best mod on this whole bike is this one. So it's the Tusk kickstand spring relocation bracket. It moves the spring, which is normally here, to the back side. So you're not hitting it with your heel anymore. It's not killing the bike and or hitting the ground and causing you to crash. Ask me how I know. So that is a brilliant solution, and I would say a must-have for this bike. I don't understand how this design made it out of the testing phase because it sucks bad. So highly recommend that Tusk kickstand spring relocation bracket. I also for a while had the kickstand deactivator, the kickstand disabler from Vanash. Very small, very inexpensive unit that just plugs in right here. And it was super easy to install. It takes like 1 minute. And that was fixing the bike getting killed when I put my foot on the kickstand issue. So that's an option too, but I really like this bracket that relocates it. And then, of course, the Mad Dog seat cover that people are always asking about. It's $30 on Amazon. I'll put a link to it. Is it as good as the Seat Concepts? No, but they don't make one for this bike yet. So it makes a difference. Not a huge difference, but it's definitely worth $30. And the other thing I had on this bike was the Puge windscreen extender thing. Let's see how nasty it is. I've hit a few bugs. That's the medium, and I just found that the windscreen put a lot of buffeting directly in my face, but the extra couple inches, which, you know, I don't know a single guy that would say no to an extra couple inches, really got the wind up and over my head and made it a lot more comfortable. So quick video, not like super professional, but if you wanted to know what's on this bike, if you want to get ideas for your 390 Adventure R build, there's nothing on here that I'm unhappy with. Everything was great. I recommend everything I just told you about, and I'll link it all in the description for you. And yeah, those will probably be affiliate links, but if you don't like affiliate links, then just don't use them. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Thanks to all the companies who helped me build this. You know, Outback, Rocky Mountain, Moscow, Vanash, obviously Cyclops, Quad Lock, Double Takes, because it's one hell of a build and I really like the way it came out. And if I was keeping this bike, I wouldn't change a thing. I really like the way it's set up, so that worked out well. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.